It is He that made us, and we are His. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him. Bless His name. For the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and His faithfulness to all generations. Time, like an ever-rolling stream, bears all its years away. They fly forgotten as a dream dies at the opening day. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come. Be Thou our guide while life shall last, and our eternal home. As they say in my church back in Tucson, powerful. Brief remembrances of our mother. For those of you not totally familiar with the environs of Tazewell, born on the hill only a few hundred yards north of us, and grew up, lived 75 years of her life here, a member of this church, and reportedly, since records have a way of sort of disappearing, was the first child christened in this church. So this is her home church. And for those of our family, this was our home church in growing up. For my older brother and myself, this is the first that we remember. And then, as my father used to jokingly say, along came the younger brother and sister. I was in high school and college when they were born. His family by his second wife, as he affectionately referred to it. But sometimes folks very often would say to my older brother and me, well, where did you grow up? Meaning, where were you reared? But taking it literally, I would say I grew up in the back seat of a 34 Ford with my pajamas on while Mother and Daddy were out having a little fun. So we appreciate you joining us in this day of celebration. And it is a celebration of a life of love. Our mother loved all of her children equally. Some of us required more, and some of us deserved less, but she did love us all equally. I really want to thank the members of this congregation, particularly Reverend Collier, who so generously made the facilities available to us here and welcomed us back home. As I was getting my tickets from Tucson last week to come here, the travel agent I've used for years, and she said, "Where is it you're going?" And I said, "Home." She said, "You've lived here 15 years." And I said, "Yes, but I'm going home." It's always been home. Always will. The pace at which we sort of want to go, we've moved in through the sacred, the spiritual. We were sure it's all right to move into the secular. Our mother was very fond of music. One thing that Betsy and I found in terms of arranging a music program, that musicians, you really only have to encourage them, and they're very eager to come and play, and we're very, very grateful for those of you who joined us to make this a special celebration. In recalling, as one thinks of memories, one of my earliest ones of my mother in the kitchen cooking, assuming that when you're little that you're not really there, she would sing And I think Betsy inherited her ability in this area from the Payne side. But my mother was a hummer and a whistler and a singer, and she inherited that from her mother. And very often in the kitchen, I would wake up on a summer's morning to hear her singing to herself, because you weren't there if you were a little boy. And when I got to be older, then she no longer would sing in front, but she would sort of hum under her voice. And this was her favorite ballad.
Well, I sure know why they put me at the beginning. Whatever can and will go wrong will. I don't have a whole lot of words to say about my mother. She meant something really special to all of us, and I spent a lot of time with her. I think my brother could have been referring to me when I might be the one that required a little more love. But what I experienced with Mom and Dad too in the last years of both of their lives was closeness that I don't think I can really put into words. But what I have tried to do is record a lot of that on a presentation of slides that I put on the computer. I've taken up a new career in the last few years, which is a so-called computer guru. Machines have a way of failing. People seem to, Mom especially, was so graceful to me in everything she did. She lived a life of grace and died very gracefully too. It was so sad that we couldn't have all been able to experience that with her. She was a private person, especially in her later years. She didn't really get out and live a social life that she did when she was younger. She did have a very active social life here in town, I believe, through most of her early life. But she was a good mother and a very good wife to my father. And I put together a presentation here in the sanctuary of just pictures of her. And I've got other pictures that will run throughout the service. If any of you have questions, I hope that one of us will be able to answer, questions about who they are. A lot of you will recognize people in my family and friends of hers. But if I will ask one thing, I have something special to give to the church and to the community. And it is something that the whole community will cherish. Any of us that can and are able, if we could leave by this door here and go around to the fellowship hall through this side entrance. It's just something that I want the cameraman to catch. He's graciously said that he would go out first. So after this slide presentation, Reverend Collier says his ending devotion. If those of us that will walk out this particular door here and down those particular steps, I greatly appreciate it. And without further ado, I'm going to hope that my computer will